You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. Friend, I'm aggravated, friend, because I've been trying to record this podcast episode for about 2 hours, and Mars and Uranus just didn't want to let me be great. But anyways, I ain't gonna hold you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast. I am your host, Brandy Williams, about to deliver the vibes for the week, astrologically speaking. Riverside got me messed up today. I just want y'all to know that. Anyways, girl, happy summer solstice, or guy, because my brother be listening. Happy summer solstice week. We just came from a weekend of some big momentum, big news. I'm sure all y'all heard the drama and all the things in the news, a couple of things. And that is right in line with the astrology, because yesterday, June 15th, we had our Mars in Leo square to Uranus and Taurus. So that could have brought us some breakthroughs and some epiphanies about some things that we want to stop doing and some things that we want to start doing and some things that we want to break out of and some old routines that we just want to liberate ourselves from. Something could feel really stifling and stagnant and just killing our vibe right now. And we don't want to do that anymore. So that could have been a thing that has been building for the past couple of weeks and even now into this week. We are wanting to be in a more authentic expression. We just want to live a more authentic life, and that is Uranus's love language, authenticity, because Uranus comes to break us out of the hustle and bustle and the things that kind of have us feeling bogged down and oppressed and just really tied up. So we're no longer doing things for the validation of others and waiting for people to co-sign on something. We're just going to be doing our own thing and serving in the way that we were designed to serve, because that is what is calling to us right now. And if somebody doesn't like that, you may come up against some type of tension. And if your inner critic doesn't like that, you'll have some inner tension, just like conflicting between two parts of your life, just two parts of your personality really going at it, kind of having you feeling a little restless and stuff like that. But other people too, external perceived authorities could be trying to like strong arm you in some way, giving you a little attitude, a little passive aggressiveness. And not to mention, this transit brings lightning type of situations, thunderstorms and lightning strikes and shocking information, unexpected violence happening in the news and on the world stage. And yeah, all the things. Also, this weekend, another important transit that we had building up, and that is definitely going to be felt even throughout this week, is the square between Jupiter, who's in Cancer, and Saturn in Aries. So we have the goddess and mother of water in a tight, intense conversation with Saturn, our cosmic grandmother, drill sergeant, whoever, however you see this archetype, that don't play no games. And just because they're having a tense conversation doesn't really mean that they are conflicting. They're just trying to find some sort of balance, when it comes to the things that we're trying to do. So I'm sure by now we are or have been experiencing some sort of change. This could be a career, beliefs, a relationship, spirituality, mindset. Something changed. You changed your major, you started going to school, you graduated, and we are at a point of desire meets responsibility and how to balance the two. So, this particular cycle actually began December 2020 when Jupiter and Saturn came into a conjunction in the Aquarius part of life, because it was in Aquarius that they had this conjunction. And something new happened. Something ended. You left, you moved, you had a baby, you got married, you graduated, you started school, you started a business, you quit, you did some construction. Something happened. What happened in December 2020? Because this is connected. Then there was a point of tension, or a square, that took place around mid to late August of 2024. So around August 18th August 20th, there was a square between Jupiter, who was in Gemini at the time, and Saturn, who was in Pisces. So the Gemini and Pisces parts of life had some point of tension that we needed to contend with. So this could have looked like I'm needed at home, but I have this new client coaching business and these parts of my life need some type of workaround to work together or something like that. And then there was another square that happened in December of 2024. So the first one was in August 2024. The second one was in December of 2024. And this could have been a need to cut ties, something ended, a breakup, a discontinuation of something, something just kind of fell apart and blew up. And, some type of situation had to go. We cut ties, we removed something around this time. And now in June 2025, we are at our final square in this cycle between Jupiter and Saturn, and they are now in Cancer and Aries. So this is indicating that something has once again changed. We are into something new. We started something new, but um we're also entertaining something that feels very emotionally fulfilling and that feels good for us. There's something that we're passionate about. And this could be a new relationship or a new type of business or a new major or something in school. We're feeling really passionate and heart led about something. So, on one hand, we have this thing that we're passionate about that we're really feeling that has our attention, and then there's this other thing that needs our attention that we need to be responsible for. This could be two sides of the same coin. On one hand, we want to really get into this part of the business, but on the other hand, there's something else we need to take care of. So there is a need for balance, and neither one of these areas is supposed to be swept under the rug right now. This is a time where we want to pay equal attention to both. So if you feel like you are in a season where you need to work all day, no play, you have to get something done, you are contending with a task or an assignment that has you really deep in work and in grind and in hustle, there is the energy of Jupiter and Cancer that's asking, how can you let your hair down and let go of control a little bit? How can you loosen this up and let this be a little easier? Can you partner with your intuition and stop grinding? I have come to support you. I am bringing support. And sometimes we can't see it because, we are head down and just really in the grind of something. And if we keep going that way, we're going to be in burnout. On the other hand, if you are throwing responsibility and obligations to the side because you are head down deep in passion, you want to learn all about this new avenue or this new path that you are traveling towards, you are in a new group or you're just in a situation that really has your full attention and you have tunnel vision and something is stacking up in the background. There are some obligations and some things that you are responsible for that are being left unattended. And so this is where Grandma Saturn is reminding us that things are happening in a process. You don't have to learn all the things right now. You don't have to do all the things right now. You don't have to perfect all the things right now because that grinding and hustling is not going to work. So there's no need to rush because rushing ain't going to get you nowhere. This is a slow and steady situation for the next 3 years. So Saturn is saying, hey, don't forget about your responsibilities. You can't do all of those things. You can't go to all of those things. And Jupiter is like, also live a little. Go to one of them, two of them, like let yourself dream, let your hair down, let it be soft, let it be easy, come back to the emotional feel good about something. And so this is where we are going to release perfection but also trust the process and be in balance with what we desire and what we feel passionate about, but also some things that we need to take responsibility for. Then we're going to jump to Tuesday, June 17th, about 4:35 a.m. Mars is going to go into the sign of Virgo, and this is a big deal because Mars has been in Leo and Cancer since last July. It's been a year of toggling back and forth between Cancer and Leo. So Mars is coming out of his feelings and dealing with his past resentments and things that needed to be taken care of in the emotional space, and also showing up on stage and, letting his light shine and being his truth and authenticity and doing something from the heart, and he is ready to take it down a few notches and go behind the scenes. So Mars is going to slow down and is going to quietly get things done. This is a methodical Mars, a skilled and precise Mars. This Mars is very detail oriented. He's very concerned with getting something done right and with good quality. So in his highest expression, this Mars is tapped into mind and body wisdom. So I want y'all to picture this. So we at Whole Foods, right? And Mars is this slim fit, chisel ab man, and he has a top bun and skin clear. So I know he like green juice. Oop, girl, why is he at the green juice bar right now? Get in the green juice. I told you. So I know I seen him somewhere. Yep, he is a mixed martial arts Tai Chi instructor at the gym. And this beautiful man that we see in Whole Foods is just so quiet and poised and analytical. I think his day job is like a data analyst or something like that, or, something in logistics, because that is what Mars and Virgo energy is about, the logistics and the analyzing, but in a slow way. This is all about precision and detail. So this Mars in Virgo is very in sync with himself. He knows when he needs to rest. He knows when he needs to move. He knows when he needs to plan, and he knows when he needs to sleep because he's aligned. He does yoga. He does meditation. His chakras is just all, in line. He's really mastered the art of listening to the body and the mind, and he's also gotten them to communicate and listen to each other, being the mind and the body. So when Mars is in Virgo, this is where the mind and body become synergistic versus enemies, versus trying to override or compete with one another for airtime. The highest expression of Mars in Virgo teaches us how to integrate and connect the mind to the body and to determine the most efficient tasks, to tend to what is excessive, what needs to be eliminated. And so the aligned Mars in Virgo is of service to self first so that he can be useful and provide service to others from the overflow. But just like everything else in life, there is an opposite side. There is a shadow side to Mars and Virgo, which is the need to over perfect. The feeling that we are not enough, that what we offer is not enough, that it's not good enough. The tendency to be critical of ourselves and critical of others, and being so in our heads about something that we ignore the body's cues to pause, to eat, to rest, to move, and we end up in a spiral of anxiety. So Mars in Virgo invites us to slow down, to listen to the body, partner with the body, honor and serve yourself first so that you may serve the world from the overflow. And then by Wednesday, June 18th at about 11:15 p.m., we're going to have Jupiter in Cancer square Neptune in Aries. So this could be two things. First, Neptune has come into Aries to dissolve old structures in the way we work, dissolving the grind, asking us to honor our dreams and to courageously start something new and to let ourselves dream. Let the dream dance in your mind for a while. And it's also reminding us that we don't have all of the information because we're not doing it alone. We are collaborating with spirit and we are in a pause step situation, right? That I've been talking about. Neptune is also wanting to let us know that something is already enough. Something is good enough. It's going to touch who it's meant to touch, and it's going to bless someone as is. So if we're in that Mars and Virgo shadow where we wanted to perfect, also the South Node is there. Remember, that is a part of life where we are letting something go, letting go of it needing to be perfect, needing to know all the steps, staying on the sideline until we have the entire plan mapped out. We're going to let ourselves dream. So this is a time to take a chance, and Jupiter is here with us to provide support. Now, on the other hand, this Jupiter square Neptune can trigger disillusioned thinking and delusional thinking and spiritual bypassing and over romanticizing something or someone, looking at something or someone with rose colored glasses and not seeing something for what it really is. So this is where we want to pause when we're impassioned by something or someone. Really pause and ask ourselves, is this real? Is something looking too good to be true? Are we seeing pink sparkly flags where red flags actually exist? Neptune and Jupiter can make us really generous, and we are in a space where we really want to help people because Neptune is unconditional love. Jupiter is generous and benevolent, and it's in Cancer, so it's very nurturing. But Neptune gives us rose-colored glasses, and Neptune in Aries has this false messiah complex. So not only could we see people and be like, oh my God, they're going to help me and save me, and this is my messiah, we could also feel like it's my job to help and save someone else. So I say this to all of the big hearts out there, and I know if you're listening to this podcast, you are probably a big heart and very generous and, a helper and all the things. Just please be aware of being taken advantage of or helping people who are not your assignment. You're not meant to help certain people. And you'll know that because there's going to be a point of discontent. There's going to be something under the surface. This is why we pause and we listen to intuition and we feel into things because, the body doesn't lie. The emotions don't lie, but the mind be telling us some things, right? The mind could say some things to us and we'll be like, you know what, you is right. And you don't be right because we're not here to save nobody. And we are not going to be saved by another human. Salvation is God's job and soul saving is internal. That's a you thing. That's an internal thing. But we have these gifts and we can come across people this week that are willing to support us and we're willing to support somebody. And we are doing that by letting our gift shine and to be the vessel and to not focus on perfection, but understanding that my message is going to bless who it needs to bless. And that ain't got nothing to do with me, right? And so, yeah, you are already good enough. And please be careful about the scammers because Neptune bring the scammers and bring the people who are energy vampires and they don't be about what they say they about. So really ask yourself, is this real? Before you enter into a negotiation or sign on a dotted line, you want to, make sure something is legit. And then we come into the summer solstice on Friday, June 20th at about 10:42 p.m. The sun enters the sign of Cancer. So if you know somebody born Friday morning, June 20th, they are still a Gemini. But if they're born after 10:42, they are a Cancer, not a cusp. You are a Gemini or you're a Cancer, okay? Happy solar return to all my Cancer babies. I got a lot of y'all and I love y'all so much. This solstice brings us to a pause and stop because that's what solstice means. It means to stop temporarily and then brings us into the longest days of the year, being summer. And Cancer season is about setting new intentions for emotional safety and home. What does home mean for you? What does it mean to be home in your body, in the world? What people feel like home, what groups, what parts of the world or experiences allow us to slow down and to nourish ourselves that feels good to our emotional body. And whatever that is, Jupiter is saying yes. Jupiter is providing support, and Jupiter is like more of that, more bliss, more yummy, more nourishing stuff. And you deserve to feel safe. You deserve to live in safe spaces, and you deserve to be around safe people. Finally, June 22nd, about 6:30 in the morning. That's on Sunday. Mars in Virgo will make a sextile to Jupiter in Cancer. And this is going to signify taking some type of intuitive action to notice how the body feels when we say yes to something or when we say no to something. What is the emotional body telling you about a process or something that you're doing or something that you're not doing? We're going to honor when it's time to take a step back, when we're getting a nudge to go back behind the scenes, go back into a student's mindset, which is resonating with me 100%. And just knowing and honoring when you need to refill your cup, refine your skills, and lean into purpose over perfection or aligned service over accolades. Then later on that day, the Sun in Cancer squares Saturn in Aries, bringing us to some sort of reality check. We could be letting something go. We could be unsubscribing from certain organizations and apps and businesses and people, unsubscribing to the judgment of other people, and walking into some something that feels more emotionally safe and aligned with who we are now. And also with love and self compassion and none of that like self hating stuff. Notice if you are an unsafe space for someone else. If you are overextended and burnt out and grumpy. And with love, notice how you can lean into some internal safety to become a safe space again. This could mean that you need to take a step back and go into your cave, go into your hermit mode to sort some things out, to stop overextending yourself and to notice if you are feeling any resentments or bitterness and take your own power back and make your inner sanctuary a home again, because we're all just trying to find our way back home and back to safety and back to love. So this week we are invited to pause, to listen to the body, to question if something is real, to notice if we are seeing something for what it really is or what we want it to be, to let something be good enough to bless somebody else, and to find our ways back home to self. So until next time, y'all be well and bye. You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast.